Hello everybody, Blue Dooley, and this is part 2 of Resurrecting a Monster. My J-Concepts parts actually showed up 3 days sooner than I thought. The bummer is, I actually ordered the wrong wheels. They will bolt to the truck, but the Clodbuster tires do not fit them, so I'm going to have to, unfortunately, email J-Concepts, see about exchanging them for the correct ones. The body, however, looks pretty good, and I already have one of the motors in a gearbox and tested it already. And actually the gears, and bearings and everything still sound pretty good, so that's a win. I am actually testing the truck right now. We'll turn it off here. But just a Duratrax 2-channel radio, which I used in the Wheelie King for a little while. And I needed to hook it up so I could center my steering servo and double check to make sure this quick run 860 dual still works. So I just stuck these on the motor leads and gave it a little throttle, and it actually sounds really good. The only other downside I've found is I'm missing some steering components. I have the bell crank for both sides for the rear steer, but let's get the off the chassis here. There's the other side. But the bolt here and this collar have gone AWOL. I'm not sure where it went. The other side is still good. So the truck did not have a lot of steering throw, so it kind of needed 4-wheel steering to make tight turns. But I do need to clean this up a little bit more. And I did find the original servo mounts, which actually have a captured nut in them. So we're gonna play around with some electronics layout for a little bit, and then we'll start putting the truck together. My 3D printed parts, the upper and lower part of the knuckle and then the hub, printed out really good, except the hub, the hole for the steering ball on the hubs for some reason got elongated, which is weird because I printed them vertically like this, so I thought it'd just put some filler in there, but it didn't. I do got a little more slop than I had thought in them. However, the weird dog bone and the shaft actually spin really good in there, so like I said, maybe a little. I can always reprint these again if I adjust them, so that's no big deal. As you can see, the 27 turn fits in there pretty good. It gets close, but the tire doesn't touch. As again, it's not going to have a ton of steering on this chassis. It never really did. But I'm actually surprised all the plastics and these shocks don't feel too bad. They are way too stiff, I think. But so I got the covers still for both gearboxes, but I'm going to leave them off for a little bit, just until I get it tested and make sure the gear mesh is good. And I was going to run the Tribute 73s, but these are a 3.2, 3.6, and unfortunately the Clodbuster USA 1 reams aren't that big. Which, again, these are just chewed to hell and look like shit, but this should suffice for a little testing. So I'm thinking the ESC is going to have to come back here. The chassis, actually, for being a monster truck, really fills out quick. So I did find, though, let's see, where'd my bell crank go here? this back in there for a minute. So I can scoot this over here a little bit closer so it's straight in line with that front one. And probably mount it, and probably get it closer like that. And then I'll have enough room to put a second servo for the rear steering. And then the receiver will actually tuck up kind of here. And then this will just run up here, and then I'll have a pair of motor wires running out the front and a pair out the back. So now that I have that servo centered, we can get a servo horn on it and start hooking the chassis back up. So I'm gonna have to drill some holes. I don't really want to, but I don't want to just double stick tape the damn servo in place. I want it to actually, handle and drive as good as I can get it. So let me get some holes marked and then we'll come back. Get you in here so you can see, but could use a shorter servo horn. It'll clear, but this truck has so little throw and so much turning it can do that you don't really need a long servo horn. Or shorter servo horn would get you more torque and less throw, obviously. But I have the tires so they're mostly straight. It'll take me a little bit to get them perfectly aimed right, but yeah, that thing has so much more power than anything I had in the truck previously. So yeah, not much steering on this truck at all, but yeah, the front end is done. So we're gonna have to do some wiring so we can hook that speed controller up to the motors. So I'm gonna get some soldering done and then we'll come back. But hopefully by tonight, we'll get a chance to at least see this thing driving. So I just barely had enough cable to hook these two motors up. And I actually somehow lucked out and got them both turning the right direction. First try. So, unfortunately, we can't drive because I don't have any way to lock. I can keep it from twisting back, but I don't currently have a way to keep it from twisting forward. The front is hooked up. And throttle. Not sure why one's not spinning correctly. But maybe we'll put it on the floor. Oop. Go switch hands again. Well, that's the first time it's moved in 25, damn near 30 years. Yeah. I'll need to adjust some endpoints and get those rear tires locked out so we can actually drive it. So let's set it back up on the bench and we'll set that J Concepts body on it. So it's going to be kind of hard to see because of course it's clear, but the truck does have bumpers front and rear. And the USA 1 platform is kind of a little goofy compared to most of the stuff everybody's making. So I kind of need to go off of getting the front centered, and then the rear might be a little out of whack. So I'll have to kind of shift the body back and forth a little bit before I can poke some body holes in it. But the truck moves and drives. Like I said, we'll work on it a little bit Sunday and maybe get some driving video for you. But that's going to do it for this one. I, of course, need to tidy up wiring again. Finish putting the chassis together, of course. And because there's actually a top plate that goes on that really kind of rigid, puts that chassis a lot more rigid. So we'll catch you in the next one.